Hey Hanz family, and welcome to HANZOWEEN. HANZOWEEN is 31 tutorials in the month of October, so that means a new video every day. Today's tutorial is going to be a Pinup Anatomical Robot lady. All product details will be listed down below, including my codes and links, and let's get to it. So first things first, we want to start by drawing out our design. I'm beginning with just focusing on the robot panels that our robot lady has. This is the Anastasia Cream Contour Kit in Fair, and I am going to just start filling in all of my little robot panels. I didn't want to go with white because I felt white was way too intense for this look, so I wanted to stay with a very light skin tone, and as you can see, this is pale as shit. So if you are pale and you're looking for something to highlight with, this is a great palette. Kryolan's Clown White was perfect to highlight our already extremely pale skin. So I am going to just highlight the high points of my face and the high points of the panels, basically focusing on the middle of the panels because the panels would naturally curve, and so they have a highlight towards the middle of them and the tops of my shoulders. Since this is a cream-based paint, we do want to set it. I'm using Sugarpill's Taco eyeshadow. This is super pigmented white matte eyeshadow. I'm not really setting all of it white, mainly just the white from Kryolan that I put down. Just so I know where the panels of my robot skin end, I am going to outline them very lightly with a little bit of Makeup Geek's eyeshadow in Mocha. And then using a small MAC brush, this is the 210, I am going to use a little bit of black body paint to start drawing on a few of the little lines and indentions I am going to have on the panels on my face. I want to stick with a very geometric shape and make it kind of interesting looking to make it look like my robot panels are fused together. On to shading. Shading in this look is going to be extremely important to make this look three-dimensional. I'm using a small little angled brush from Morphe and the Mocha eyeshadow from Makeup Geek. Essentially what we want to do with this look is make the edges of these panels look curved backwards. This will give the illusion that the center of our face is even more round than it actually is. We also want all of the panels to look separate. So between all of these little lines that we drew, we want to add shadow around those as well, focusing more towards the bottom because our light source would be coming from the top. You can tell I'm not going with my shadow all the way up to the edge because leaving a little tiny line of highlight will just help to break up the shadow away from where we are going to start drawing kind of our muscle wires. I am doing this all over my body, and I am really taking my time so that these shadows look very blended out and very curved. The more time that you do dedicate to this portion of the tutorial, the more that these panels will actually look like they are hovering over what you do decide to draw underneath, whether you go with the muscle wires or you go with something else. I didn't want the face to be the only place that I had these little separate lines for separate panels, so I am drawing extra ones on my chest, and I am just kind of creating little shapes that I thought looked cool. I do want to keep shapes that do go with my body, because I do definitely feel, just like a tattoo artist feels, that, you know, the placement of what you do matters so much. So I want this to flow with my body naturally. Shade those panels as well, just so that it's separate from the other ones, and make those look as dimensional and curved as possible, keeping that the highlight is towards the middle and the shadows are towards the edges. You want everything to look separated and like it's its own piece. And since we are working on cream, it's extremely easy to use an angled brush to blend the eyeshadows into the cream, because the cream basically mixes with the eyeshadows to blend very nicely. Using Makeup Geek's Corrupt eyeshadow, this super black eyeshadow, I've used this in every tutorial, I'm going to start adding a little bit of black to the shadows. I don't want to add too much because I don't want to kind of muddle up the original Mocha that I did put down, but I do just want to intensify the shadows a little bit. Especially in the little spots that I have parts missing, like there on the chest, I want that to be completely black and as dark as possible, and on the bottom of the chin. For the base of the muscles, I did mix some body paints together. These are from Mehron Makeup, and it's a mixture of coral, white, and beach berry. Mainly coral and white. A lot of this will be covered up, but I just wanted a little bit of a base tone because I personally like adding highlights and shadows on top of a mid-tone. So just use that to fill in all of your spots around your little raised panels. I went ahead and really quick did one cheek and neck piece just to see what the fuck I was doing. So using Cherry Cola eyeshadow from Makeup Geek, I'm going to start sketching out the muscles that I have on my jaw and into my cheek. I did want these kind of anatomically correct, but I'm not going to lie, you guys, they're definitely not perfect, but I was looking at a little bit of a reference picture. Using Love Plus, this is from Sugar Pill, a bright red eyeshadow, I'm going to start shading the muscles. I want to focus on underneath this panel and really giving dimension to the top and bottoms of the muscles, and then making the center pretty much be the spot where the highlight is. Your muscles are curved, and so the top and bottom would naturally have a little bit more shadow, and the middle would have more highlight, just like we've done on the panels as well. If you do want a decently anatomically correct tutorial, I do actually have a full one. It was the first video I ever put on YouTube on my channel, and I'll leave a link in the description box down below for that. I'm going to start mixing in Cherry Cola again from Makeup Geek just to really start darkening and intensifying this, and you can see that I'm starting to draw little lines. I'm not just adding shading, I'm adding shading by drawing little lines because your muscles are obviously very stringy. And make sure that it's super, super dark right up against your little panel, because that panel on your face would cast a very large shadow onto the muscles. Adding a little bit of that cream contour color that we used earlier from the Anastasia kit, I'm just going to draw a few little lines to highlight the center of the muscles. Do the exact same process on your neck as well. I am using a larger fluffy brush, this is from Sugar Pill, just to start kind of making it look grungy and really dragging that Love Plus color up and down from the top of my neck to the bottom of my neck, just to kind of give the illusion of lines, and then using Cherry Cola and Corrupt to start actually drawing little lines and darkening them as I go. This is a long process, you guys. It does take a little while because you are just drawing line after line after line. So if you prefer, you could do this with body paint, or you could make it a little simpler. I didn't go as realistic as I wanted because I did kind of want to give the illusion between wires and muscles. Going in with more body paint, I just wanted to intensify those lines, since those lines are actually cracks in the panel and go all the way down, so they would be super, super black and dark. And I want them to just blend right into my muscles, which are as well very dark. We are constantly trying to give the illusion that these panels are just hovering on top of our muscle wires. Adding in where our little collarbones are, because there aren't muscles on top of that, and then I'm just going on the top of my head and my temples to add some more shadow and muscles to that as well. Keeping up with the exact same process we've done with everything else. I am going to move through the chest super, super quickly just because I am doing the exact same process that I've done and shown you guys on the neck and on the jaw, but I did still want to show you the process. So I have it sped up very, very quickly, as you guys can see. I did add some more black body paint just to darken and intensify the shoulders, because I wanted those shoulder panels to really stick out, and then just still using that paint to intensify the lines of our little robot panels. Using some white body paint from Mehron, I'm going to start drawing on little stringy highlights throughout the entire piece. And then really adding intense highlights all over our robot panels. We want to focus these lines towards the top of the pieces and to make sure to intensify the little lines we have between the shadow and the edge of the panel itself. Those highlights can make an absolute world of difference in making your work pop out. This is a mixture of the coral and white, and I added much more white this time just so that I could add in where our little sternum is. There aren't muscles on that, and then I'm going to just add a shadow from the panel onto that using the mixture of Corrupt and Mocha eyeshadow. For the lips, I am using Jeffree Star's Unicorn Blood. This is the perfect, bloody, beautiful red, and it was perfect for this look. So I did that all over my lips, and then used a little bit of black body paint to draw on my little mole that I have. I already have one, but you know, I just intensified it. And then I drew in a quick little flick of winged liner on both eyes, because we are going with kind of a pin-up robot lady, so obviously she had to have that flick of liner, duh. To really have those eyes pop out even more, I am using a little bit of Mocha, and I am just blending that right into the crease. Popping on some lashes from Velour Lashes, and give me a second while I pop on my contacts. After I popped in my contacts, I decided I definitely needed a few more red highlights since these are muscles and it was starting to look a little too dark, so I added a few little stringy red highlights. Then I put some red body paint on my wig because that weird little yellow mark just wasn't cutting it. And this, you guys, is the final product, our sexy pinup robot lady. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial as much as I did. I really love the outcome, so please subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out, and I will just see you guys tomorrow.